Good morning, tank friends. Here we are, day 3 of Operation The Drills. The Drills! That's a little unfair. Oh god, I think you'd be able to pick them up very slightly in the background. I kind of angled the mic as best I can to avoid it, but it's a really kind of high, slightly high-pitched, penetrating noise that is really unpleasant. Gotta say, I mean, I know roadworks need to be done. Our roads desperately need maintaining, but you know, I'll be damned if it doesn't get annoying at times. Anyway, here we are in another tier 6 medium tank. So, Kelso, please. It's the VK3002M. I've got the first engine upgrade, not the huge, whopping, great big, expensive upgrade. Not yet, anyway, but soon, one day. And why was I knocking down all these trees? Do I just hate trees? Am I a bad person? Who hates trees? Apart from, like, logging companies in the Amazon. That's a little... Is that topical? I don't know. When I was a kid, that was sort of like the thing that at school we were kind of encouraged to get upset about, was essentially deforestation in the Amazons. And Belize, I think, at the time was a...
Enemy armor is hit.
Okay. Something's gone wrong with this recording, because that M4A32, I swear, was not as wiggly as he was then. I don't know. It could be a problem with the recording. I think it likely is. So it looks like that was a really amazing shot, because somehow I managed to hit a guy who was just, you know, wiggling around. But in reality, he was driving in a straight line, and it's hardly, you know, hardly a good example of long distance play. Well, I'm trying the VK3002M as, at this point, until I get the last engine upgrade, as kind of like a long range sniper. Especially up against sort of the tier 7 and 8 tanks, where I think I'm not really going to be able to close the distance. I can apparently use the Type 58 as, you know, ablative armour, which is... I mean, if you're going to have tank armour, the best tank armour is really another tank. Well, I suppose a rock that you can't penetrate. But after that, another tank is probably my favourite type of tank armour. This is a ballsy move. And I think I come to regret it. I can't recall. I think, no, wait, I back up before I do anything even more stupid. Yeah, so there's this kind of like weird long range shooting match while on art. Now I look at it, I didn't realise at the time how bad that situation is on the other side. And sort of things like, with the benefit of hindsight, you can look behind, you can look at the map and go, ooh, actually this situation was far worse than I thought it was, but instead I was kind of tunnel visioning this long range firefight, which isn't obviously ideal. I should have started paying attention to what the other side was doing a little earlier. And yeah, the T20, so this is one of the situations where I go, the T25 is doing something that could be really good, could be incredibly clever, or it could be really stupid. And the difference between it being really clever and really stupid is what the other people on the team do. If no one came up to support the Skoda T25 at this point, then what he's doing is basically suicide. He's just throwing himself into, essentially, into the meat grinder for no gain. But if the team goes, he's going forwards, and the difference between it being a great action and stupid action is whether or not I choose to do something about it. And okay, like, he's I just look at it now, like, yeah, he's frantically picking at me, and I should have been a bit more, I should have moved up. But I'll be honest, I'm still a bit scared. I'm a bit of a wuss. I shouldn't have been afraid of that MT, because even trading blow for blow like hit point wise, I don't know how I'm bouncing these. I think it's just the sloped armor on the side. And so it looks like there's a possibility of turning this game around. I don't think I'm going to be the guy that turns the game around ever. And I think that games in which, you know, that's the situation we find the team in, where they're depending on me to turn the game around, are games in which we're going to lose. But I want to basically go down fighting. There are some tier A tanks, and if anything, I know that the natural enemy of the tier A tank, aha, see that? Consumables. Although engine damage is not kind. So yes, a situation in which my team is reliant on me performing essentially above my average is not a game that I think we're going to win. But as I said, I want to go down fighting. I'm trying to get out of kind of the habit of not giving up. I mean, I don't want to go, you know, I give up, I throw my hands up. Even in games where I'm up against, well, I guess when your back is up against a wall, there's two ways. Well, there's, I think, two constructive ways you can look at it. And I decide that as I'm taking the hill, I'm going to repair the engine now. Now, there's two ways to look at it. You can either go, this is I guess essentially a learning experience. You know, there's going to be some lesson that I can take away from this game, even if the game goes badly. If you're willing to take things on board and look at it again after the fact and go, what could I have done differently? I should have popped the repair kit way earlier than I did. Way earlier, because I could have been up that hill. Yeah, basically a lot earlier. But that was a mistake. I know next time, basically as soon as I've got a quiet moment, repair stuff. I kind of always want to keep the repair kit though, because getting tractors is some kind of nightmare. It's the worst, especially when there's an SPG on the map. Especially an SPG with 2 kills. You know that SPG's been landing shots left and right. And the other thing is, it's fun. A win is obviously better than a loss, but a loss doesn't mean the game wasn't essentially enjoyable. I really like that kind of long range sort of firefight on the left hand side. I thought that was actually quite a lot of fun, and when I look back at it I go, that felt good. It's like that's got the way that I'm supposed to play this game is, well, at least in this tank, is make the most of your gun. It's got a long range, it's got good penetration, and basically the game gets turned around. I think it's mostly on the back of good scouting by the AMX ELC, but after what seems to be quite a disastrous sort of game where one flank doesn't go well, we keep our heads and we start pulling it back, and that's nice. That's a good feeling, and it's fun. It's fun to see sort of games where you go, yeah, the odds are against us, and I can't believe I missed that. I don't even know where the shell landed. And again, doing the unicorn. Come on. I can't remember how this ended. I think it might have ended in an embarrassing sort of way. I could end the recording now. We would never know. We'd never know. I think this guy is calling me a fucking noob. I don't know. I know I shouldn't assume the worst out of people, but it's in an online game often, you know, I don't want to say it's safe to assume, but here we go, edging up. And there we go. Ow. Jerk.